What is up, guys? This is Quentin at the Young Enthusiast here at a hot Monday. Now, I know you guys have not seen me in like a week, so I apologize for that. I am working on the 500 subscriber special right now. But here's what I want to talk about today. A lot of you new people who's been subscribing to this channel probably has no idea about this car because I really hadn't made a video about this car in like probably about 8 months. It's been that long. And for the ones who have been subscribed for a while that really enjoyed this car when I first brought it into the channel, I really have missed it, but it still runs and drives. I still drive it at least every weekend because I use it as an emergency car. That's why you don't really see me in it as much or posting it on Instagram for those who are actually followed. I've been driving this Integra instead as my daily driver. So if something happens to this car is going to be up. Now the reason why I stopped driving it is because it leaks oil like crazy. It needs CV axles. And it has a really bad toe problem, which eats up the tires, which is one of the reasons why the brake lights don't work either. That was really the main thing that kind of stopped me from driving it. Though I am kind of tired of the oil leak, which is one of the reasons I'm glad I got the Integra. But for those wondering, this car does run and it does drive. So let me show you. Now, as you guys see, this car runs. It actually runs pretty decently. It's a little bit rough, but it ain't like extremely bad. It's definitely not as bad as some of the cars that I have to deal with in America. Now, it's a little bit different to put your seatbelt on here. Normally, this would go up and down to actually automatically put it on for you because this car doesn't have an airbag. And back in the early 90s, if you didn't have an airbag in your car, you had to have the automatic seat belts. So since I took all the seats out in this car, I have to put on this lap belt on first, then the shoulder belt. And there goes my 3-piece seat belt design right there. I took all the seats out because this was my race car. I used to race this thing on togays and sometimes racing that shouldn't be condoned, but that's all in the past. I don't really do that anymore because I don't really have a car to do it with now anyway. But this car still does run and drive, and I do trust it to be an emergency car if I ever need it. And as an emergency car, I trust it. This thing doesn't give me any problems, even though I don't really drive it that much anymore. I make sure I maintain it. I drive it at least once a week around the weekend. Last time I drove it was Saturday, I think. Yeah, it was Saturday. I just put a new CV axle into my Integra, and I wanted to drive the CB7. I normally drive the CB7 to restaurants, really. Restaurants nearby. Just so he can actually stretch his legs, and I don't really have to worry about anything. I do sometimes miss the exhaust. Yeah. See, that was the best thing about it. Like, the exhaust was loud, but when you're just driving normally, it actually doesn't get that loud anymore. It actually starts to sound pretty good. Can't really complain about it. Right now I'm going about 45 miles an hour and you don't really hear the engine. You don't hear it droning that much. I really enjoy that actually. Yeah, the thing about this car though is that it burns oil. It leaks it too. It doesn't have AC, but it does have some good ass heat. It doesn't overheat either. The engine doesn't overheat at all. The cooling system is perfect now that the coolant hose, the heater hose has been replaced. Apparently that actually goes out pretty often. I got a friend just got himself another Accord, and the heat on that went out. But yeah, car still shifts fine, still runs good. Even though it's been sitting, it doesn't have a check engine light. So really the only problems this car has is the alignment problem, which I have to go to pull apart and try to find something for it. It also leaks oil like crazy. It burns oil on cylinders 2 and 3. I literally took the spark plug wires out, and it was completely soaked in oil. It was so bad, it was soaked in oil that you can literally hear the suction. It was like just like that. That's how bad it was. You guys probably heard it. That was that CB axle clicking and clacking. I don't really plan on doing any more repairs to this car unless it's absolutely necessary, because I don't drive it anymore. Not really. Though I do need to get a spare wheel for it. I was telling you guys not too long ago about how I had an accident in this car where both of my tires blew out, and I was already on the spare already when the other tire blew out, so I had to drive it on a highway about a couple of miles away to get home. So I basically ruined that wheel, unfortunately. So I do have to get another wheel for that. They're $100. That ain't that much. A little bit more than what I plan on getting my next set of wheels for my Integra, probably. But this car does a good job. It revs fine. It doesn't stall. It's not overheating. I do miss the exhaust though, I really do. I can't wait to get an exhaust on the Integra. The Integra's kind of had a little bit of a problem this weekend. Had some grinding noises. I replaced the CB axle. And it's not as bad as it was. Now one thing about this car is that it shifts hard too. It's always done that. The transmission still works fine. It just shifts a little bit harder than what I'm used to, since being in the Integra has a smaller transmission and smaller engine. It shifts a lot smoother. This car is like, be honest though, this car feels like a tank compared to the Integra. It really does. Still pulls. Still gets up and go if I need it. Though it doesn't make that much power anyway, but it makes enough power for how heavy the car is. I removed about 100 pounds of weight in this car by removing the back seats and the front seats. So now the car should be weighing about 2760. No, it's not that much more than how much the Integra weighs stock. And really, this car was a great car whenever I was driving it as a daily driver. It didn't have that much problems before the accident happened 4 months ago, 5 months ago, something like that. This car still does a good job driving. That's why I'm not afraid of. That's why if the Integra ever messes up, I really won't be very angry about it. I'll just continue driving the CB7 as I always did. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this little overview about the CB7. I just wanted to show you guys that it actually still worked. It still drove. Because I know this car just basically been sitting in the background, not doing anything, just looking at it. For those who are new to the channel that don't really know about this car, this is my 1991 Honda Accord. It was my first car I've ever owned, and it was always my daily driver until I got my Integra. It's been a great car since then. I hate four ways, but this car does a good job. Well, for those for those who actually want a little bit more information on this car, I will link a couple videos of Project Rice Rocket, Project CB7, whatever I named it at the time. But I hope you guys enjoyed this little video. Please like, subscribe if you guys really want to continue watching content like this. Hopefully I can get some more car reviews, but it's kind of hard when you don't have any cars to review. Well, I will talk to you guys next time.